Moving to a new state can be totally overwhelming. So today we've put together a video to give you a complete guide about moving to Kansas City.
Welcome to the channel. We got Zach Morton and Max Jones here. And like Max just mentioned, we're going to be talking about everything you need to know about moving to Kansas City. And if you like this video or find it helpful, please give us a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And let's jump in.
All right, let's do it.
So first off, why Kansas City? Well, it's not all about the barbecue, even though that is a pretty sweet perk, and we've got some great barbecue to test out once you get here. But we've got some other fantastic things going for us too, like the culture, the arts, technology. Huge hub for technology. That makes me think of right now is we've got like Google is coming to Kansas City, Facebook's already here. We've got the Panasonic EV plant. We've got more fiber in Kansas City than any other place in the country. So there is a lot going here. Cerner, a lot of tech companies are coming here to start. We're now called the Silicon Prairie, and it just continues to expand. Different states are giving these massive tax incentives to attract these tech companies to Kansas City. And just another reason that it's fantastic.
And it's not all about the hustle and the bustle. Kansas City is also a very welcoming and charming place. It kind of has it's a big city, but it has a small town heart. And so it's a very welcoming community, lots of parks, lakes, recreation opportunities. We're close to the Lake of the Ozarks. We're right in the middle of America. They call it the heart of America. And I think that really is fitting because there's a lot of love going on here. And it's right in the center, right in the heart of the country.
Yeah, pretty much the only thing that we are missing is mountains. We don't have ocean beaches, but we do have beaches like you mentioned with the lakes. So lots of activity, lots of outdoor stuff, lots of acreage properties, and lots of hunting land and all kinds of stuff as you get away from the city. Really, the only thing we're missing is the mountains. So if you can deal without that, and you can just stand driving or flying just a few hours through Kansas to get to Colorado, we got you covered there too. So why are people coming to Kansas City? Well, one of those is the booming job market in sectors like technology, healthcare, education. That's what we see a lot right now from people coming from California. We've got some people coming from New York. In fact, just in my neighborhood, just in the last 2 years, I've got a guy from New York, I've got a guy from Hawaii, and a guy from California. We're all playing poker together that have recently come this way for tech jobs and opportunities in Kansas City.
Yeah, Kansas City is a really growing area. It's actually growing by 2.5% year over year. So that makes it a great place to invest in real estate. And yeah, there is a shortage of housing as a result. We have lower inventories where some areas have overbuilt. Kansas City hasn't really been able to keep up with the growth. So that makes it a great place to put some cash into real estate.
So for all those reasons we just talked about is why Kansas City is continually ranking as one of the best places to move in the U.S.
All right. And another reason is the low cost of living. Kansas City is very favorable compared to some of these other states, on the coastal cities. Kansas City, relative to them, is very affordable.
Yeah. In fact, just recently, we've had a lot of investors that are selling their duplexes out in California, coming to Kansas City and buying 4, 6, 8 doors for what they can get rid of 2 doors for. So that just gives you a little bit of taste. But the cost of living is, the Midwest, we're kind of known for that. Nice, stable, steady growth. And that's why we're attracting these people. Everybody can work from home now, or a lot of people can for the most part. So why do you have to be out in LA or San Francisco, close to that city hub, paying that extremely high rent or mortgages for real estate taxes, when you can work from home? So when you come here, shave a couple of years off your working life and retire early, man.
Heck yeah, and it's not just real estate, it's everything is less expensive. The groceries, the taxes, the fuel, the cost of transportation, around the board, it's less expensive here for everything.
So coming to Kansas City, what can you get for like $300, $400, $500? What do you expect? We've got lots of other videos on that, but just to give you a brief overview, I'd say $300 to $350 is kind of the entry-level price in Kansas City right now. It all depends on location, but if you're in one of those suburbs, it's a little bit outside of the city center where most people are for those, the A-rated school districts. What you're probably going to get is a 2 to 3 bedroom with 1 to 2 garages, anywhere from, maybe 15 to 1,800 square feet. You said it's kind of that in that entry level.
Yeah, $200 a foot, you can get a pretty nice house for sure.
And then as we move up to the $300,000 and $400,000 price point around the Kansas City area, for the most part, you're going to be able to get you like a 2,500 square foot house, 3 to 4 bedrooms, 2 to 3 car garage with a nice sized yard, nice big driveway, so you can get all your cars off the street and out of the road, and just, a really good setup. That's kind of the vibe around here, but the sky is still the limit. There's still some super prestigious neighborhoods where you're on golf, where you're on lakes, where you're on acreage properties or estate style properties, estate style neighborhoods. So that's just kind of the entry level, but the sky is really the limit out here as well.
Yeah, and I like to think of it as price per square foot. Like Zach mentioned, on the golf course for brand new construction, we just did some videos where they were right around $400 a square foot. For something that's really distressed, kind of like need to totally remodel the house, you might be able to buy it at $100 a foot. And then it kind of runs the gamut all the way in between, depending on what you're looking for. I'd say an average is going to be $150 to $200 a foot. It depends on the quality of construction and the location.
Yeah, but there is lots of options. There's lots of neighborhoods and subdivisions that cover that gamut. So you don't have to just be like, hey, we're coming here. This is what's going to be. Lots of options in Kansas City. Because we've got Kansas and Missouri. So 2 states to choose from.
I do have a story.
Tell your story.
My story is from a little while ago, but I used to live in New York. I lived in Brooklyn, one of the coastal cities, and it was very expensive. And then my wife and I, we had our first son, Maddox, and we decided to head back home where we were born and raised. And when we came back to Kansas City, we used to have brunch every Saturday or Sunday. Brunch would be, $100, $150 in New York. This was quite a while ago, so it's probably more expensive than that for 2 of us. And we got back and we went to brunch in Kansas City, and the bill was like $22, and we just laughed at the difference in price. So the cost of living then was dramatically different, and it is the same now. Those numbers have both shifted a little bit more expensive over the years, but the gap in between them is still the same. Okay, we're going to go over some of the best neighborhoods and places to move in Kansas City. But before we do, we want to let you know that we get calls from people like you all of the time that watch our videos. So maybe this is the first video that you've seen. Maybe you've seen lots of our videos. But either way, we would love to hear from you. Feel free to reach out to us anytime with the number on the screen.
All right, so deciding where to live in Kansas City or plant your roots, let's talk about some of the best neighborhoods or some of the suburbs of Kansas City. I'd like to start with the best one that always comes ranked the highest, and that's Overland Park, Kansas. This is going to be on the Kansas side, just south of Kansas City. This suburb is known for great school districts out of the gate. It's the largest suburb. It has the largest population with over 200,000 people, and it's just got everything you could possibly need. Some of the best shopping, businesses, so you can work there, beautiful neighborhoods, prices from entry level all the way up to mega mansions. It's got it all, and it's just south of the city, nice and centrally located. Some other things that I really like about Overland Park are the parks itself. There's over 75 parks there. It's absolutely incredible. So they really care a lot about the green space and how that area is manicured, and it really does show up when you're driving through Overland Park. Overland Park got its name because it was on the Overland Trail, which is synonymous with the Oregon Trail. When you're downtown in the old downtown Overland Park, Old Santa Fe Street is part of that old Oregon Trail system.
One of my top neighborhoods is Leawood, Kansas, also on the Kansas side, right nestled in next to Overland Park, coincidentally. Leawood is a little bit older area, but very charming. Mature trees. There is a little bit of a newer side as you go south in Leawood. There's some new development going on, but Leawood is known for world-class shopping. So you have all the fanciest grocery stores, like the Trader Joe's of the world. It's known for shopping, like my wife likes to do, for furniture and clothing. There is the Town Center Plaza, which has your restoration hardware and, fancy furniture stores, has top-notch restaurants to go to. So if you're a foodie like I am, then you can there are great steakhouses and sushi and you name it, any type of restaurant you want to go to. Barbecue, of course. Kansas City is a thing. Also, schools are phenomenal in Leawood. It's Blue Valley School District, so Leawood is a fantastic place to live. I would not say it offers as quite of an inexpensive option like you might find over in Overland Park. The median price range is going to be a little more on the high side relative to that. There's a reason for it. It's because it's one of the best places to live in Kansas City.
I agree.
Another place I love in Kansas City, but over on the Missouri side, is Brookside. Brookside is part of the shopping district that starts at the plaza and goes down Ward Parkway. They're just a phenomenal place to live in Missouri. It is known for its charm. It's full of little Tudor homes that were built in the 20s. It requires a special type of person that's going to want to live there, that doesn't have super big yards or big 3-car garages, no new construction to be found. It is one of Kansas City's most charming walkable suburbs, has a charm and a feel that isn't offered anywhere else, and it's a very desirable place to live in Kansas City.
Yeah. Next on our list, we have Parkville, which is on the Missouri side and north of the river. So Kansas City kind of has 4 sections. So you got north of the river, south of the river, and then you got Kansas and Missouri. So when you come here, that's kind of the, people say I live up north or I live down south. Parkville is in the Northland or up north, and it's a great little spot. Some things that stand out about Parkville is A-rated schools, again, with the Park Hill School District. It's one of the more expensive areas in the Northland, but that's because you have that phenomenal school district. Anytime you are up north in like Parkville, you're going to have a little more elbow room than some of the other places we talked about that are a little more densely populated. So if you're looking for a suburb that has a little less traffic getting in and out, then take a look at the Northland because it's great. It's easy in and out access, and you're only 10 minutes from the airport and 10 minutes from downtown Kansas City.
And 10 minutes from your house.
And 10 minutes from my house.
I think you're biased.
To take it to the next level, let's, what do you got?
Liberty.
Oh,
hey,
you got a bias.
Home of the Jays.
And the Max.
Yeah, Liberty is one of my favorite places to live. You will get some complaints about the traffic. Liberty used to be its own little city, and it is still its own city, but it used to be separate from the Kansas City suburban sprawl. And now Kansas City has just grown up to Liberty and integrated into it. I actually have a Kansas City address, but live in Liberty School District. It is a great place, though. I mean, it was never planned to be as busy as it is, and they have been taking some steps with the highways and the road systems to unclog some of that congestion, but it's a great place that a lot of people want to be, namely for the schools. It has the old world charm, like if you go down into downtown Liberty, similar to Parkville, it has an old downtown area where they'll have the summer or the fall festivals. It's just a great hometown kind of place where you can get a bigger yard or a little bit of acreage, maybe an outbuilding, or if you want to be in a fantastic subdivision with new construction homes and swimming pools. It just has a whole lot to offer for a variety of different tastes, and for that reason I love Liberty.
Yeah, it's a nice spot. Next, we have Lee Summit, which is also on the Missouri side. However, this is south of the river, so you can get here and say Lee Summit. We're going south. It sounds like a pro. So this we call the Land of Lakes. It is a great spot. It also has great school districts, and it's got great highway access. It's really close to I-70, which is that highway that kind of goes coast to coast, east to west, and goes right through the middle of downtown Kansas City. So you got great highway access getting in. You got several lake options you can live on, whether you want to live on a lake with big boats so you can go skiing and jet skiing, or you want a quieter lake with maybe a low horsepower, or you want a lake with no motors at all, so you're just out there paddling around in your canoes and stuff. They've got you covered, Daily Lakes, all that stuff. There's lots of conservation hunting land out there, and it's just set up really nice. It's growing really fast. Lots of new construction options. There's older options as well, kind of like Liberty. Just a great spot. And you're not too far from the sports stadium, so if you like football and you like baseball, and not even KC Curry, the women's soccer team, not too far away from that either. It's a great spot to access those. And I will say what I like about my Lee Summit friends, Land of Lakes, when they're heading to the Ozarks, they are on the southeast side of the city. Lake of the Ozarks is on the southeast side of town, so they are already cutting off 45 to an hour and a half, depending on traffic, because everybody's trying to get out of town on Thursday or Friday to head to the lake. They're already halfway there, so another great spot.
Yeah, a lot of people who live in Kansas City also own a lake house at the Lake of the Ozarks. It can be, depending on where you live on the lake down there, it can be a 2-hour to a 4-hour drive. And if you can cut off 45 minutes off that drive, that's a huge deal. So Lee Summit definitely has an edge on everybody for that. All right, so you're making a move here. Now, here are some things to keep in mind.
Research thoroughly right? So that's probably why you're on this channel right now, is to try to learn a lot about Kansas City. So we've got an extensive library of videos that cover the gamut across Kansas City. So make sure you subscribe so you can find us again and go in there and check those out. And please feel free to like and comment if you have any questions around any of these areas, or you want us to hit an area maybe we haven't touched on.
Yeah, and when you're doing the research online and checking out the neighborhoods, that's fine because you may be in another city. But when you take a trip to Kansas City to explore the area, it might not be time to write an offer on a home, but that doesn't mean that you can't hit us up to show you around and take you to some of these neighborhoods. We've done that for folks before, and it's really helpful to do kind of an exploration visit to Kansas City. We'll take you to some of these areas that we're talking about so you can really, get your boots on the ground and see what it's all about. And also, it's important to budget wisely. So reach out to us for a checklist as far as getting your ducks in a row. One of those big checkmark items is getting with a lender and seeing what you're qualified for. We definitely recommend that you work with a local lender. They know about the different programs that are available in the states that Kansas and Missouri. And also, being a local, if there's an issue, you can go to their office and, sit down with somebody rather than working with somebody on the other side of the country. So,
especially in this environment too, it's a very competitive environment right now. And listing agents really like to see local lenders on that contract versus somebody that's in a completely different state. It gives them a warm, fuzzy feeling because they know it's higher likely chance that's going to close on that.
Yeah, that's a great point, Zach. And we know all of the best local people. So lean on us for that too. We can put you with somebody that we trust to do a great job for you. And it's really easy to send you their website. Within 15, 20 minutes of putting your information in, that local lender will reach out to you and get all of your ducks in a row for your budget. And lastly, for things that you need to make sure you do, is take advantage of relocation services. Your employer may be offering relocation services, and if they are, then you can still work with us. They may assign you to a real estate agent or real estate company that they recommend, which is fine, but if you want to work with us, that is not a problem. Really, it's just a matter of us filling out some paperwork to work with your relocation company, and we do that all of the time, so hit us up for that angle too. Think of us as part of your relocation experts because we are your boots on the ground while you're in another city, and we would love to help you with the whole process.
Another item would be just to connect with locals. You can hop on Facebook, join different groups. There's places like The Pitch, which is kind of the entertainment newspaper or hub of Kansas City for downtown activities, but things like that. If you have interest in golf, there's different golf forums you can hop on and just meet some community members. You can ask some questions that way, read some reviews, and learn a lot that way as well.
Yeah, almost every subdivision has a local Facebook page that you can join and see what mix it up with the people online and see what they say about the subdivision. There's also a lot of local swap shops where people will sell items or give away things or post tips. Those are great resources on social media to kind of get in with the local crowd and mix it up a little bit.
Absolutely. If you found this video helpful, then make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss any of our future videos.
Also, we have tons of videos on this channel. So for example, we have a video on the Kansas City real estate market and the types of homes that you can buy in the Kansas City area. So go ahead and click on that video right now.
See you over there.